Okay, third question for you, Bill, in terms of lightning round question: double down or diversify? If a SaaS company is sailing, should you double down on your existing pricing model or diversify by testing price increases?
I think you should diversify. I think you should always be testing price increases. I think that's part of the game, like you were just alluding to, the pricing muscle. We need to have that muscle. It's not one and done. It's a continuous process, just like product and CS and every other, one of the 6 divisions in our SaaS company. So I would say that running pricing experiments is important, especially as we are adding new value. One of the things I think is missed a lot is that when we decide to create new features and new, capabilities in our product, we don't necessarily consider the monetization aspect. We don't consider it until maybe a little too far down the line. So I
Yeah.
submit that there's a way for you to sit down and have that conversation early with yourself about, okay, cool, we're adding this. Who is it for? Why are they going to buy it? What job are we trying to solve? Is it a retention play? Is it an acquisition play? Is it an expansion play or combination thereof? Does it fit into our existing tiers? All these types of questions I think go into that. And so if you're doing that, then it becomes very easy to start to understand where those experiments can come into play. Because part of that, when you figure out how you're going to monetize a feature is, well, what does success look like? If it's a retention play, we want to reduce churn by 0.25% over the next, 6 months. Great. We can measure that and understand if we've done it. But the other one might be, well, we need to, extract more revenue from our mid-market customers by 12% or 15% more revenue. Well, we can also measure that, but that might mean we have to run a pricing experiment of, well, maybe we're charging more for the mid tier than we used to, or we've introduced an add-on, and you can run those experiments. And by experiments, I mean either live experiments, if you have enough traffic. I'm not a big fan of A/B tests, but
Hmm.
some people have success with it if you have enough traffic,
hmm
or just talk to your customers, your
Right.
actual paying current customers. Call them up, get them on a phone, incentivize them if you have to, run them through a jobs to be done interview, and then ask them some willingness to pay questions. And so I think that process just is continuous.
Yeah, that's great. I just a specific example. So we had a product called events-based billing, which was great. It's very sophisticated in the market in terms of metering, taking live streams of data, and then to the conversation you're having, applying kind of a usage-based consumption model to it, and being able to meter it, rate it, and then bill on it, rev rec, and report. So super complicated. It's called events-based billing. We relaunched it as Maxio Metering. Just did this at our company kickoff last week. And one of the things that's pushing the team on is, well, we got to figure out our new pricing and packaging for this. And we just didn't get that done in time for a company kickoff. And so it is, to your point, I think a critical component as you're thinking about the new capabilities that you're bringing to market. How are you going to monetize and what are you trying to solve for? How does it align with the business strategy? And are you going to sell to new customers or current customers? And so I do think it's a really interesting discipline. And we didn't get it right. And so in that case, I think there's an opportunity. Again, you have a pricing council. You also have, maybe broad at our size, you have like a go-to-market council. You have all the functions are, sort of getting behind a launch of a new product, and what is it going to look like? What are the playbooks? But then what are the artifacts and assets you need? And one of them is the updated price book.
Absolutely. Yeah, you need a filter. You need to, at some level in your pricing counselor, some kind of filter as a new feature comes in that you can just quickly go through. Everybody's on the same page. We know what this impact is going to be. Everybody's ready to go. Now let's go build metering. That's sort of what I advocate for.